And we're live.
And we're back
Hello.
to another live production of NRC.
Noah's eating pizza.
Noah's
it
eating
would
pizza.
appear.
Yep.
Ryan is not eating pizza.
No. I had a burger before I got here.
Nice.
Although I keep looking at that pizza and I'm like, it looks really good.
It is really good, let me tell you.
Look, Mr. Frodo. The king has his crown again.
Huh?
Okay.
Huh.
That was
Isn't that Two Towers?
No.
Oh, that was Return?
That's Return of the King. I don't think that was in the non-extended version, the theatrical version, I should say.
I would say Return of the King is the movie that most benefits from the extended edition. I
Yeah.
think that it is the most complete movie with all the added scenes.
Mm-hmm.
I'd agree. Because I did watch it about a year ago, just the theatrical release.
I feel so bad
And
for
it
you.
was so weird because there are so many different scenes where it's just like, wow, it just cut out a whole bunch of explanations. It's just moving forward with the action and the story.
Push forward, quick.
Because there's a lot.
There is indeed a lot. So for those of you who haven't figured it out based off our title screen and our random ramblings, we are talking about Return of the King, Part 1, Extended Edition, as if we would talk about the theatrical edition. Blech.
So I had to work early this morning,
Okay.
and so I got home after work. And first I watched the new episode of Loki, which was superb, excellent.
Okay.
I'll have to watch it tomorrow, I'm afraid.
Well, you'll enjoy it, I think. I mean, I know I enjoyed it a lot. So then I moved on to Return of the King Part 1, and I ended up falling asleep in the middle of the battle, in the last bit of the first
Okay.
part.
Yep. Well,
So
Curtis, I have a story also, because I did not watch it last night. In fact, 2 weeks ago I watched it and I fell asleep, and then a week ago I watched it again. I didn't fall asleep, but so I've watched it enough in the last 3 weeks that hopefully I'll remember some of it.
Ah, good, nice.
I remember the beginning.
Yes,
Yep.
the least bombastic intro or prelude or prologue out of the three movies.
Yep. The worm getting skewered on a hook.
Right. We get to see Andy's actual face.
And it's so jarring.
Yes. And then we get to see the makeup and prosthetic work as he's being transformed.
Oh, that prosthetic work. They're trying to show transition into a CGI character.
No.
They got the eyes right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big blue.
Big blue eyes.
Did you guys by chance watch that the Colbert video where they sing?
I did not. However,
Oh.
on the Friendship Onion, Billy Boyd's and Dom Monaham's podcast, they had a two-parter with Elijah Wood.
Nice.
It's definitely worth every second of viewing. It's Elijah with his big blue eyes and his American voice. So anyways, you start off with a flashback, as they do, to the past.
Do a lot of flashbacks.
Are there a lot of flashbacks?
Well, each movie started off with one,
Okay.
sort of. Yeah. Flashback to end of the Second Age in the first one. Flashback to Gandalf going
Oh, I suppose. Yeah,
down a hole,
that happened.
and flashback again to
To Smeagol.
yeah.
Smeagol becomes Gollum. There, flashback over.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a lot of movie to this movie. We're gonna skim some of it.
How old is Smeagol?
Yes,
Yes.
very.
I read somewhere he's like 900 something.
Okay.
The ring just kept him alive.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the second longest ring bearer next to Sauron.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So then we're in the present, and we're looking at some people on some horses.
Dun 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 dun.
Nope. Wait,
Oh, other horses.
other horses. This is when they go to Isengard.
Oh, right. Yes, they're going through the trees and then.
Oh
And
yeah.
in fact, you had the Gondorian theme for
Yeah.
the return. Ugh.
It's a good theme.
It's a great theme. It can make lighting pieces of wood on top of mountains really exciting.
Yes.
You two are up there drinking and smoking.
The salted pork is particularly good.
Salted
pork.
He's immediately on board.
Uh-huh.
Gimli's like, I want in on this action.
Uh-huh.
So we have the Entmute. No, not the Entmute. That's what happened in the last movie.
Young Master Gandalf.
Young Master Gandalf.
I wonder who's older, technically.
Well, based off Treebeard's response, Treebeard.
Then we get the extended cut where Saruman is actually in the movie.
He's in the movie, and he gives the most realistic depiction of someone getting stabbed in the death ever put to film.
Yes, indeed. Good thing.
No, he does not scream. He goes, huh! Because the breath is forced out of him. Like, well, he just kind of knew what he was talking about, so we let him do it.
Well, he was in the army and he fought in World War II. He probably he might know what those sounds sound like.
He might.
Actually, was he World War II, World War One?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know.
Pretty sure.
Probably
Two.
two. Two would be my guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then what? Oh yeah.
Pippin grabs the Palantir, the Seeing Stone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we really just really skimmed over the beginning of this movie, but that's okay.
I was intrigued by when what's his face Theoden, when he's yelling up at the tower, and even when he like talks softly, he's like Grima, and if you listen, you hear like an echo, like his
He's just
his
that
soft,
good at projecting his voice.
It was defying reality, maybe a little bit. It's what they're like 200-300 feet up off the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, defying reality in a story about, wizards and magic and flying serpent beasts and whatnot.
I mean, eagles do fly.
True. I suppose.
And they don't even show that the eagles talk in the movies, so.
That's also true. Which I was always a little... I don't know, how do you feel about that?
They talked more in The Hobbit than The Lord of the Rings. So, like, The Lord of the Rings, you can kind of get away with it. It's like, they came to Gandalf's aid. They weren't really sticking around to have a chat. In The Hobbit, they sit down, and then they're like, all right, this is why we saved you. And that's kind of important, because otherwise, I don't know, the eagles just seem like Gandalf's
Friends.
really good friends.
Yeah.
Because they just kind of come when he calls, but they also don't because he doesn't call them to do important stuff. Curtis, why didn't they fly the eagles to... No, I'm kidding. I'm not
Yeah,
going there.
right. Yeah.
I know why.
Yeah, yeah.
Because then we wouldn't have a movie.
Right.
I figured it out.
This ranger will never sit upon the throne of Gondor.
Aragorn sits on the throne of Gondor.
Yeah, exactly. And he sings a song.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, that's skipping like way ahead. That's past part 1.
Whoa.
Yeah, that
You're
is
in part 2.
Whoa.
That's like
Whoa.
one of the 19 endings.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You seen that interview that Elijah Wood did, and where he talked about watching the movie with Jack Nicholson?
No.
Jack Nicholson.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, how did the movie end? I got out of the theater before it actually ended. There were too many endings. I just left."
Wow.
So I thought that was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, what then?
Then
I think
we
we
go
had
back to the Golden Hall, and they're
Yeah.
having their little like memorial, Hail the Victorious Dead.
All right. Yeah, and then Merry and Pippin sing their song.
Right. Pippin.
Yeah.
Gimli and Legolas have a drinking contest.
Oh, yes. I
I
don't
feel something, a tingling in my fingers.
think that is in the theatrical version, the drinking competition.
It is
Wow.
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an important scene right there.
It is.
It shows that they are
They are
standing
true.
side by side with a friend.
What about side
Right.
by side with a sigh?
Huh?
What about side by side with a side? I could I.
Hmm.
You guys haven't seen that one. It's okay.
No.
Nope. What's her face thinks she's making moves on Aragorn. Little does she know.
His heart belongs to another.
Right. It's all for nothing.
It's
or
all
something.
for naught.
And then Aragorn counsels Gandalf. I always thought that was kind of weird.
Oh, the what do you feel in your heart? What does your
Yeah.
heart tell you about Frodo
Yeah.
being alive?
Gandalf's a couple thousand years old, and he's getting advice from this 80-year-old dude.
87.
You could, you could maybe place the argue that when Gandalf came back, you know, he leveled up. He became a little bit less.
Connected to the real world?
Yes.
Hmm.
So he's not.
That's a thought.
Yeah. So his connection with Frodo and all that, he's a little bit more confused about because he's thinking of bigger, grander things like that, you know, that land that's,
The Undying Lands?
yeah,
Oh.
that
I
land
thought...
that's west of,
What's west of Westeros?
yeah, what's west of Westeros?
Essos, you dumb bitch. Anyways, for me, I always thought that, like, Gandalf was kind of feeling guilty for sending them off. For, like, sending Frodo off on this journey that he could die.
Right, yeah.
That's where I was, where my head was at. I don't know.
Could
Makes sense.
Look at me, making sense.
Yep. At some point, we've got another Smeagol Gollum talking to himself
Oh, yeah.
session.
And then Sam catches him talking about killing them, and then something else happens, and maybe that's not now. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Not important.
Oh, there's the part where Pippin wants to go look at the Palantir again.
Right,
once
I thought that
everyone
was
goes to
after
sleep.
the Smeagol thing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it could be. There's a lot of movie in this movie.
Curtis, do you think that you are more entertained by 4 hours of Zack Snyder's Justice League or 4.5 hours of Peter Jackson's Return of the King?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. I mean, Return of the King is probably better. I mean, at least in terms of awards, it's better. But
Well, yeah. One also never saw a theatrical release.
right.
Well, it did, but it wasn't made by the same guy who made the 4-hour cut of the movie.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. No, I think Return of the King is better than the Snyder
Okay.
supercut.
All right. Interesting. I'll keep that under advisement.
So Pippin looks at Palantir.
Right, he had to look at it one more time.
All right.
And then, his mind is kind of getting flayed
Yeah.
by Sauron.
Yep.
What did you tell him about Frodo and the ring?
We have been strangely fortunate.
There was no lie in Pippin's eye.
A fool.
But not
Always
a
fool.
fool of a duke.
He told Sauron nothing of the ring. Frodo in the ring.
Yes, and they were fortunate. He gleaned a glimmer of the enemy's plans.
Right.
They intend to strike at Minas Tirith.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Tell me.
Understand, things are now in motion. Blah, 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 blah,
That
blah.
cannot be undone. Yeah.
Yep. That line was like made for the trailer.
Wasn't it? So great.
Use that, and then a couple shots of slow motion horses riding into battle. The Nazgul tearing them apart.
Yes.
There you go. You got a Return of the King trailer.
Boom, bing, bang, boom. We did it.
Yep.
Hire us. So then Gandalf decides to go to Minas Tirith, and he'll not be going alone.
Right.
But not after Theoden objected to the idea of going to
Why should
Gondor's
we?
aid. Yes. Why?
Why should we go to the aid of others?
Who did not come to ours or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
The exact line's not important. It always... Why didn't Theoden start mustering the Rohirrim there, at least to some degree? I suppose he hadn't decided he would help them yet?
You're
Yeah.
right. He wasn't inspired by the blinding light of the beacons of whatever.
Yeah. Cool beacons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched this movie with the audio commentary ever?
No.
Extended? Peter Jackson, I don't know if he said this in any other interviews, but he said that when they were doing that whole scene with the beacons getting lit, he had imagined that this was like a family... it was like a family task passed down through generations. Families just lived up on those mountains waiting for the day to light their beacon.
That sounds awesome.
Yep.
What
So,
a
yeah.
life.
Yep. He had this whole backstory arranged for those people who are like this big on the screen.
And that's why this movie is better than The Hobbit.
Yep.
Yep. So then, Gandalf and Pippin ride to Minas Tirith. There might be other stuff.
Mary's sad.
Mary is sad. Yes.
You smoke too much.
You smoke too much, Pip. Right, he gave him the last of the long bottom leaf.
Yes.
Very important.
Does Gandalf smoke the last amount of Longbottom leaf?
It's possible. You
Oh,
know,
right.
he
He's
is.
coughing over it.
Yeah. It's entirely possible. Though I am already in my pajamas.
True.
So they get to Minas Tirith.
They ride
and
all the way up.
Yes, thankfully, due to movie editing, we don't have to endure the characters going all the way up in real time every time. So that would probably take like an hour,
Yeah.
at least, with a good, strong super horse like Shadowfax.
Gandalf gets up and down real fast. I think they have an elevator hidden around somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I like the behind the scenes of how they built Minas Tirith, how it's just kind of in pieces everywhere.
Mm.
They built on a hill. Or it's actually more like a quarry.
Are you talking about the life-size sets?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Although the main gate was like a part of the Helm's Deep set that they reused.
Mm.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
I know. They get up there, and then he's like, Gandalf, it's the tree. Yes, the Tree of Kings. Here's some exposition about what's going on with that tree.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. And they're still guarding it, because they have hope.
Hope, yes.
Hope for the return of the King of Gondor. Because what's his name is a steward, Lord Denethor.
Mm-hmm. Right.
A caretaker.
So they go talk to Lord Denethor, who subverts the expectations of the meeting with the cloven
The
horn of Gondor or whatever.
That's Boromir's horn.
Right. Yes.
Could you tell me why my son is dead?
He died to save us.
Yes.
Yeah.
My kinsman and I. And me.
They have a lot of close-ups of Denethor, and his face is always like, ooh,
Yeah.
doing crazy stuff.
Or eating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shall I eat this whole tomato, or shall I only bite half of it right
I'll
now?
bite half of it right now, so some of it dribbles down my chin.
Yes.
Now I'll crack some of this chicken.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now just intercut that with some cool footage of slow running horses. It'll look great. Also, Pippin is going to sing the greatest song ever.
Play some sad music while all this is happening.
Yes.
We've skipped a lot.
Yeah, we have.
Pippin essentially volunteered himself to be a person, Gondor person,
Yes.
something.
I think he's inducted into the Tower Guard.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
right.
As servitude toward.
Servitude, yes, to repay the death of his son or something. Yep.
I thought, oh, that's very noble. That's very nice. He's an idiot, but noble.
Noble.
Yeah.
A fool, but an honest fool.
Yeah. Okay.
Going back to where we actually were in the movie. There they are. Gandalf's coughing. We're close to the coughing scene anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it goes back and forth between Gandalf coughing and Frodo, Sam, and
Right, because they are
Smeagol.
at Minas Morgul.
Yes.
Yes,
And then
they happen to get there at the opportune moment.
The opportune moment, exactly as Gandalf and Pippin are looking towards it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a giant green beam of time to invade Gondor.
Yep.
Simultaneously, they're gathering Rohirrim members, or
Oh, did we
whatever.
skip over actually lighting the beacons?
Well, I mean, we had mentioned it
Right.
before.
I just didn't remember where in sequence that was.
Well, lighting the beacons happens.
I thought it happened after Minas Morgul.
Oh, maybe it does.
Because I
I
thought
don't.
it was that, and then Gandalf was like, yeah, we're going to need help. Kind of deal. I could be misremembering.
No, I think you're probably right.
Because then we get the coolest shot of mountains with fires being lit ever. Thanks to Howard Shore.
Yep.
Then Aragorn runs up those steps, bursts into the Great Hall, the Golden Hall. The beacons are lit. Gondor calls for aid.
But Noah, where was Gondor when the Westfold fell?
Yeah.
In Gondor, you idiot.
Where was Gondor when their enemies closed in around us?
Where was Gondor?
It was right there.
It was right there. It was in Gondor.
It was there.
It was there.
We
Fighting.
get, we get a bunch more Carl Urban screen time.
Yes.
Yeah.
He even has a little bit of an ooh-rah-rah speech.
Now is the hour. Oaths you have taken. Now fulfill them all for Lard and Lance.
Yes, that
Something
one.
like that.
Lard and Lance?
It's, you know, Ryan,
It could have been.
it might have just been Lar. I don't remember.
Well, I suppose, like, people probably cooked with lard. That's
Sure.
It's very possible. I've eaten lard donuts before. They're actually quite delicious.
This has been an interesting sidetrack. Tell me more about these Lard donuts.
They were made by the Amish.
Ah, the Ams.
They use lard.
Now I know.
Yeah. And what happens next?
There's might be some stair climbing.
Yeah, stair climbing.
Up the stairs we go.
And
Yes.
what's in this tunnel?
What is in this tunnel? Well, we don't quite get to the tunnel. Because Sam has to be betrayed and sent off. Because he'll ask for the ring. He wants it for himself. Gollum's
Yes.
poisonous words.
I could
Yeah.
carry it for a while.
Carry
it for a while.
Share the
load.
I
You
don't
get,
want to keep
like,
it.
the most intense close-up of Elijah Wood's eyes. It's like, whoa.
There's
You know
Peter
what?
Jackson. He's like, how close can I get to his eyes? How close? Keep going. A
blue
little closer.
eyes.
Closer.
We need more blue eyes.
I don't want to keep it.
He doesn't want to keep it.
Yeah, he doesn't.
It was the crumbs on his jacketses.
Yeah, what's this?
Oh,
Stupid fat hobbits.
how convenient for you to notice that, Smeagol.
Yes.
Ah.
But yeah, then Frodo sends Sam home.
Go home.
Go home, Sam. Bye-bye.
Great
And
scene.
then, I don't know, somewhere in there, the orc attack. What's the city?
Minas
Oh,
Tirith.
Osgiliath.
Oh, Osgiliath.
That's it.
Right.
Came to me.
The sneak attack.
Sneak attack, yes.
Quiet.
They're not coming from the north. To the river, quick!
Is the leader orc, deformed orc man, is that voiced by Andy Serkis also?
I do not believe so. I think that was voiced by
Oh.
the actual actor.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. It kind of sounds like a voice he could do.
He probably could.
yeah. Wait, was this the same actor who also played the head Uruk-hai in the first one? And
I don't think so.
no.
But that guy does play a bunch of orcs.
Oh, he also plays the Witch King.
Oh. The Witch King, right.
Yeah, that was another good bonus feature where they keep wanting it to be bigger. Can you make it a little bigger?
Right. The giant.
So then they hand me this thing. It just looks. I had to hide it under my jacket. It just looks ridiculous.
That's the second part of the movie.
Yeah,
Jumping ahead a
a little bit.
just like an hour and a half. Yeah, maybe not quite that much, but yes, the city of Osgiliath falls. The Gondorians retreat, break cover, make for Minas Tirith. They ride away. They're getting
It's
The
the
na-
White Rider.
right. Well, the Nazgul show up and start killing them, and
Yeah.
then the White Rider shows up. Like, oh look, Gandalf. And he flashes some really powerful LED light at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
He got the high beams out.
Yeah. The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
That's
The wrong
Okay,
movie.
Doc Ock.
That came out a year later.
That's the better of the second Spider-Man 2 movies.
That's true.
Ah.
One might even say the best of the second Spider-Man 2 movies.
Yeah. Home.
Maybe.
What was the What was
Far
the
From
newest?
Home?
Far From Home. It's not a bad movie.
It's okay.
I like Far From Home.
Yeah.
Far From Home introduced Dr. Pepper, the purple cans.
Huh?
What?
It was like a special
Oh!
limited edition run of Dr. Pepper.
Yeah,
Allie and
you-
I found them at the county market.
Yes, I remember you telling me about those, and I don't think I ever tried them.
Oh, they were quite good.
Uh,
It's too bad they're not still in production. But
Ah.
oh well. What was I? Oh, right. We skipped over some Arwen kind of drama.
Oh,
But it
right.
leads to the cool sword reforging and all that.
Yes.
yeah.
The scene that made me interested in forging.
Yeah.
Because it looked cool.
Well, you put some dramatic music behind it and
Yeah.
close-ups. It's, you know,
Slow-mo.
yeah.
Yep.
I think those guys were like legit forgers
Oh, I'm sure they were.
from New Zealand that were like, cool, I get to be in a movie.
And they were probably the guys making the swords for the movie.
Probably.
Yeah.
Get to make swords for the movie and be in the movie.
And be on camera while we do
Oh,
it. Incredible. Incredible
good
job.
And,
So at some point, Elrond goes and visits
I think that's...
good old Aragorn.
Maybe that's then. I don't know. They're on the camp.
Yeah.
We kind of skipped over Mary joining the Rohirrim. That's not
yes.
important. Esquire of Rohan.
yes.
Right.
Not as important, grand scheme of things, really. But, that happened.
Yep.
He needs to get his sword sharpened. That's kind of why I remembered. You
Oh,
won't kill
right.
many orcs with a blunt blade. To the smithy, hurry!
Aowen is like, it's tradition for the women of the court to ride out with
With the men
the men.
to the camp of whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's there.
She's there. She has a sword. We're just going to ignore that.
Yep.
Till later.
Yep.
Then we can't ignore it.
Nope.
Nope. Though we're not going to get that far.
Oh.
But yeah, Elrond, he rides up. Middle of the night, he's like, Aragorn, get over here. We're going to use Theoden's tent. We're going to kick him out. Because that's how cool we are.
Mm-hmm.
And here's this awesome sword.
Wow.
Andúil, Flame of the West. Reforged from the shards of Narsil. Yep,
It's a pretty cool sword.
it's a cool sword.
Looks a lot like Gandalf's sword.
They're both elvish,
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Because
not.
it's Andúil.
Well-
Yeah, they are.
Was Narsil an elvish blade? Because it was
believe
held by the king of Gondor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
All right. The expert over here.
Maybe.
Yeah, don't ask me.
All the best swords have names. So, according to Bilbo.
Right. Elrond also plants the idea in his mind, hey, go check out the mountain people.
All right. We skipped over the spooky mountain tales that Legolas was spinning.
Oh, yes.
We skipped a lot, really.
The Spooky Mountain.
Spooky mountains.
Yeah.
The way it's shot.
It was made by those who were dead.
And the dead keep it.
Yes.
The way it's shot. Now you will die.
Yep.
Yeah. So they walk in there and it's all like, ooh.
Ooh, spooky. Once
I
again,
thought that some of the Gimli makeup looked a little odd in the scene. And maybe that was intentional because it was spooky. I just thought his face looked strange.
It could be because he was allergic to the makeup and, sometimes his face got all puffy.
Right.
not as puffy as the guy who plays Zek, Grand Nagus.
Oh, yeah.
He's super allergic. In the first episode he appears, the Nagus.
Can't see his eyes.
Yeah. Like the final scene of him in the movie, his eyes are like swollen shut.
but he loved it so much.
But he loved the character.
I mean, what's not to love?
It's a great character. That's enough of a Star Trek tangent.
Oh, he leaves because there are too few. He leaves because he must.
Too few of us have come. We cannot defeat the armies of Mordor. No, we cannot. But we will meet them in battle nonetheless. Oh, yeah.
Inspiration!
I think he's more inspirational on the actual field of battle, but sure.
But he's building things up. He's
Yeah.
getting his people ready.
Yeah. Is that the point where they ride off and then they're gonna leave Mary behind or something?
That happens.
Yeah.
We're jumping around.
Yes.
We're just all over the place today.
I can't remember the proper order.
Yeah, it's almost like none of us actually watched it last night.
No.
Well, I watched it today, but yeah, I just
You were falling asleep.
yes. Well, the gigantic booms. There are some really loud booms. I mean, I guess I had my sound system turned up a bit, but when you get to the battle, I would be like kind of asleep, and then I'd be like, "Whoa, holy cow!" So.
But yeah, then Eowyn, she picks up Mary, ride with me.
My lady.
My lady. Yes, in the movie they didn't even try to cover her identity. They were just like, yeah, everyone's gonna figure it out.
Yep.
Well, there were guys in the Rohirrim who had long hair, which was
Right,
fit
but
right in.
but in the books specifically, Mary like didn't even figure it out until she revealed their
really?
identity. Yeah, on the Pelennor. She was pretending to be a dude. I don't remember the name.
Oh,
That part I didn't know. It's interesting. Oh, we
Or
kind
at the very least, she doesn't figure it out right away.
So I think we skipped over a little bit of Frodo making it to the tunnel,
Oh yeah.
going into Shelob's lair,
She loves Lair.
and
right.
it's very webby.
It's sticky. What is it? You'll see. You will see.
Dun dun dun.
I'm amazed that he's never encountered a spider web before.
Has he not encountered a spider web before, or is his mind so clouded by the ring and Gollum's lies that he's not perceiving the world correctly?
Could be.
It could be. I don't have an answer for you. I just have theories. A game theory. No, that's a different YouTube channel.
How do you think this movie would be different had J.J. Abrams directed it?
There'd be a
It
lot
would
of
have been
lens flare.
terrible. For one.
Lens flares.
Lens flares.
The spider's eyes will reflect, and we won't be able to see the screen because of the flare that it gives off.
Or when Gandalf
Oh, God.
beams off the Nazgul.
I was about to say when, as the sun rises, all of the swords would just you can't see anything. The whole screen is just a lens flare.
Yeah. As the sun rises is not in part one.
No.
Which is a shame, because it's a great part of the movie.
Oh yeah, Frodo goes through the lair and he gets scared.
He gets scared. He pulls out his light that he got from Lady Galadriel back in the first movie. The light of Elendil, our most beloved star.
Yep.
And he remembers the magic elvish words to make it light up. Good thing, too.
Yeah. Good thing.
He gets out, and then Smeagol's like, I want the ring, and then he gets pushed down a cliff, and we're like, we won't be seeing him again.
Yeah. And then we'll find out what happens in part 2 with that.
Part 2 with that, yeah.
Dun dun dun.
But Frodo, he just keeps walking and keeps walking.
Oh,
Then he falls
Sam.
over.
I'm so sorry, Sam. And then he falls over.
Yeah.
Or maybe he falls over and then says sorry, Sam. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Not important.
Well, he falls over and he's back in Mirkwood?
Lothlorien.
Or Lothlorien. Okay.
And
Then-
Lady Galadriel
Yep. She helps him back up, and
helps
it's
him
like
back up, and then he's like, "Okay, time to go."
that scene always confused me. So, like, how? So did she pick
I-
him up? Like, what happened here?
He might be hallucinating.
Okay.
Yeah. He didn't have any elvish bread.
He wasn't exactly eating the elvish bread before that either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, then he gets stabbed by a spider.
Oh yeah. Grrr.
She stabbed him with a stinger.
Did the spider talk in the books?
I don't remember. I don't think so, but it's been a while.
Yeah. We skipped a lot of the battle, but you know.
Oh, I thought we were going to swing back around to that.
May as
of
well.
course.
But yeah, Sam shows up.
Sam shows up. Get away from him, you filth. Ah, ah.
Rudy. Rudy.
Yeah.
Rudy
Sean
stabs the
Astin.
spider.
The
Sean Astin is gay.
No.
Sean Astin is not gay? Anyways, you were saying, Curtis.
Oh, the Shelob boss battle in the Return of the King video game was very difficult. I seem to remember.
Okay.
Just took forever to, just whittle a little bit of the health bar down. Just for a long time.
Back when video games were arbitrarily difficult.
Yeah, it was difficult.
Yep.
Well, swords in video games are baseball bats.
Yeah, especially lightsabers.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
it is. But yeah, he defeats Shelob.
Well, injures Shelob enough to, I suppose that's defeating. That Shelob retreats.
Yeah. She scurries back into the lair, and
Then he checks on Frodo, and he's dead. Dead Frodo.
sad Sam.
Sad Sam. Then some orcs show up. Sting glows blue. Nice.
Good
little
good
things.
details. Good
Little
details.
things.
Exposition.
Right,
what
exposition. She
Sheila
stabbed
does,
him with her
yeah.
stinger. He goes limp as a bonefish. Not dead. Samwise, you fool. Get him to the tower.
Yes.
Yep.
Good setup for Act 2.
For Act 2. And now I suppose we talk about the defense of Minas Tirith.
Right, yes. Lots of
Lots of stuff. Well, first of all, I mean, the orcs were doomed to begin with. They were using catapults, not trebuchets, which the Gondorians had.
yeah, but the Gondorians didn't have Nazgul to take out the trebuchets.
That's true. That's why the forces of Mordor almost won. They didn't. They weren't fighting trebuchets anymore. The superior siege engine. Curtis, do you know of another siege engine that can throw a 90-kilogram object over 300 meters?
I don't, but I don't
There aren't any.
study them. Oh, I see.
A chicken cannon.
A chicken cannon. Is that a siege engine?
Sure.
Interesting.
It's combustible.
But that's not a 90-kilogram object. Unless you have a
90
90-kilogram chicken.
90 kilograms worth of chickens.
Will it throw that 90 kilograms worth of chickens over 300 meters?
Don't see why not.
I want to see the designs for this cannon.
Okay.
Okay.
Think like Chicken Run. Some of those designs for how they made the chickens fly.
What else?
It's been a long time since I've watched Chicken Run, Ryan.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember it was claymation.
Yeah. Same people that made Wallace and Gromit.
That's why I remember it. Yep, I got nothing.
Anyways, we already kind of talked about sad music.
Oh, right.
Faramir.
Yes.
If you're robbed of Boromir, I will go
I
in.
will go in his stead.
Yeah.
If I return, think better of me, father.
Mm-hmm.
He gets shot down. I mean, like, Lord Denethor was just sending Faramir to his death. He sent like 100 guys on horseback to assault a defensible position.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, Osgiliath was in ruins, but there's still enough walls there that a cavalry charge wouldn't be that effective.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed rather foolish.
Mm-hmm.
But Faramir, being the lucky bastard that he is dragged back to Minas Tirith on his horse, or by his horse. Somehow. And we see the travesty that is the absolute atrocity of armor in Middle-earth.
Mm.
Right, yes.
He's just, his armor is completely pierced, and the orcs only had like short bows. It wasn't even a proper long bow.
Right, yeah. That arrow was maybe going 20, 30 miles per hour max.
I should find the video. John Ford sent it to me. Of course he did. Someone took an actual, like, he bought a historical piece, like, breastplate, and then he shot an arrow at it with a full longbow, like a 100-pound draw, and it just bounces off, like it shattered the arrow.
Mm.
So,
yeah,
I think humanity in Middle-earth was kind of doomed because their armor smiths were terrible.
You know, the economy and
the economy. Yeah, we had to switch to this lightweight armor. Just doesn't hold up like it used to.
Yep.
But anyways, he's back. He's not dead. He needs medicine, my lord.
All right, Denethor's having like a drama moment.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Abandon your posts. Flee for your lives. Then he gets smacked in the face.
Yep.
Right.
Return to your posts. And then
prepare for battle.
So Gandalf is all the way up at the top, and he rides all the way to the bottom, and he's there really quick. That's what I'm saying.
He's there almost as fast as Denethor's voice carried from the top down to the bottom.
Or
for all of them to hear him.
Or as fast as Denethor gets from the catacombs in part 2 to the end of that thing jump off. He gets there really quick.
Yeah.
The fire was hot.
It just like a video game. It made him go faster.
Yeah. Is that like some Troy logic that if you poke a hole in the back of a
raft,
you go faster?
I mean, that's just common sense.
Yo, Sam Helfrich.
Yo.
Domino's sponsor.
From Jace Kaikwana.
Yes.
The Siege Boys coming out, making a show.
Very good, very good.
So we get some battle.
Yeah, we get some battle. I'm also concerned about the intelligence of the Gondorians. First, their inability to forge proper armor. Second of all, they were shooting arrows at the towers. Gandalf had to tell them to aim for the trolls.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder how this kingdom has held up so long.
Well, maybe some of Denethor's craziness rubbed off on the soldiers, and they just kind of forgot how to do things. Because the king wasn't there.
Okay, sure. But yeah, Gandalf's leading the fight, and then Pippin had to run all the way by foot all the way to the bottom to get to the walls.
That was pretty impressive.
How he still has breath after that is amazing.
It is a feat.
A feat?
Yes.
Peregrine Took, go back to the citadel. He can't without a fight.
Maybe there's a secret, like,
I'm telling you, there's an elevator.
yeah, either an elevator or, like, some zip lines that they can quick take. Something. I don't know.
Sure. Because now Curtis is thinking about it, and he's like, it doesn't make sense that that little hobbit ran all that way.
Yeah. No, for sure it does not.
Anyways, there's some fighting, and then Pippin gets a kill. He's looking at his bloodied sword. Guard of the citadel indeed. Now back, up the hill, quickly. Up he goes.
Yep. There he goes back.
All the way up. He goes up and down that thing like 4 times. Though once was on horseback. Maybe twice. Depending on how far back down they got. Once they dealt with Denethor trying to kill Faramir. But that's part 2. Not important. Ignore that. Speculation. Part 2 speculation.
Oh, when before the battle began, don't forget that the orcs had to release the prisoners.
Oh yes. Catapults! Sent all the heads of the people they killed, I assume in Osgiliath.
I remembered being quite scared of that scene first
Oh.
time I watched this movie.
Interesting.
It's like, oh, it's a bunch of beheaded people.
Bunch of beheaded people.
That's yeah.
Send forth your legions. What of the wizard? I will break him. We skipped over that. That doesn't matter. Well, it does, but I assume that was an extended scene because it really is kind of filler, sorta.
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
The Witch King talking to the evil leader of the orcs? Yeah, I think that would be an extended sequence.
Might be. I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but like I said, I would assume. Alright, so then at some point we're back with Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli, and they're talking to the mountain people. The way is shut. Something.
Now you will die.
Now you will die. I summon you to fulfill your oath. The blade was broken. It's been remade.
Got a speech.
Got a cool Aragorn speech that doesn't really seem to convince the ghosts. They just kind of laugh at them. You have my word. Fight for me, and I'll release you from this living dead.
Right.
What say you?
Then we have the scene that Peter Jackson came back to filming after he won all of his awards. Like,
With the skulls?
With the skulls, because he had to get the perfect
I need more
shot of a skull dropping on the ground.
Oh, right.
I need that. I need that shot of the skull dropping on the ground perfectly. It's gonna be beautiful. My crowning achievement.
So, yeah.
That was what took up what would have been his Sean Bean flashback budget.
Ah, yes.
Because if you recall, you do see Boromir, but it's a clip from Fellowship imposed into the shot when Denethor sees my son for a second.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, Sean Bean did not come back for the third movie, which is a shame.
It is.
Sean, I need you to come back. No. You're not alive. It's a flashback, Sean.
Well.
No,
So,
it's
yeah.
not going to be in the theatrical cut. This is extra stuff. This is for the fans, Sean.
Anything for the fans.
Anything for the fans.
So the skulls are dropping, and then it's
Skulls
an
are dropping.
avalanche of skulls.
Yep, breaks open the old mountain ruins. So were they just keeping all those skulls from the people that ventured into the mountains, or were those their own skulls?
Porque no los dos.
I suppose. They just have an oddly large amount of skulls that were just ready to burst forth.
Yeah.
But
Luckily-
anyways, yeah. Luckily, there's an escape route. The back of
Yeah.
the mountain leads right to
And-
that river.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
incredible.
Wow.
Where all of the
Black ship.
ships.
Yes.
The people from the east, I think.
I don't think those are the Easterlings. The Easterlings are the army that we
saw
see in Two
once.
Towers. Yeah, we
Yeah.
see them once marching through the Black Gate, and then we never see them again. Those are the Easterlings.
So then, who are the guys on the Oliphants?
Those are Southerners.
Okay.
They're different. When Elrond's talking about the black ships, when he's giving the sword to Aragorn, he says what they are. I don't remember. But yeah, that's fun. So yeah, they get out the back of the mountainside, and then there's the black ships. And Aragorn is very sad, because he sees the countryside being burned by the black ships. And he believes he has failed. And then out comes the Ghost King, and he's like, "We fight." Do they attack the ships before the half?
No, after.
That's after? Okay.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay. I do know that the half of the movie ends with Grond.
Yes.
Grond.
Yes. Grond, the wolf.
The wolf's head. The armies of Mordor were having trouble breaching the gates of Minas Tirith, so they had to bring up Grond.
Nothing can breach it.
Grond will breach it. Bring up the wolf's head.
Right.
What has always confused me, they have the giant rhino things hauling Grond up. They just disappear and they still get Grond all the way up to the door? I'm just wondering how.
They also had some of those trolls.
Right, they had some trolls, but it would still be a long, slow process to get to the door without the giant rhino beasts. And the Gondorians still had a good amount of people in the gatehouse. I assume they could kill those trolls with enough arrows. They weren't the armored trolls. Just saying. Just saying, Peter Jackson, you made a couple of minor mistakes. It's still a great movie. I still love it. I love Two Towers more. You know.
He's waiting for the 25th anniversary to come around.
And then he'll release the 16-hour Return of the King cut.
Yes. In 2028.
In 2028. You know, unironically, I do want to see the 4-hour cut of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, kind of.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. I would
Do it, George. Release it to the world.
Would it be more McClunky?
McClunky.
Anakin talking in droid. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, boop, boop.
They will re-add Shakti's death.
Which one?
Both.
The one that they... Both. Did they film 2 different Shakti deaths?
Yeah.
Really? I knew they filmed the one. I just know that she, died 5 different times.
Well, there's one version where Grievous killed her.
That's the one I remember.
And then there's another where Obi-Wan and Yoda are at the archives, and they see another clip of Anakin killing her.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember that clip.
And then that scene is used again in the Lego Star Wars game, where he splits her in 3 pieces.
Oh, that I do remember. Fun times. Anyways, back to Lord of the Rings. I suppose we just talked about Grond, so we're kind of over, but they bring Grond up. And you have people wearing bulky mouth prosthetics trying really hard to articulate Grond.
Right.
It worked.
It worked. And then the half is over. Part 1 is it's over. It's ogre.
It's a little ogre.
It's a lot of movie. Let me
It
tell
is?
you, we skimmed a lot, and I to some degree I apologize. To another degree, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour
More
part
than
1. Oh, yeah.
the full movie is like 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Kind of ridiculous, slightly. But
Yep.
according to Curtis, more enjoyable than Justice League. So
Yeah.
And that's what's important.
that is what is important.
Yeah.
I would have hated to be the guy who had to go watch Return of the King, having not seen Fellowship or Two Towers.
It's a lot of
There's
information.
a lot of information being thrown at you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but who's the elf guy? Ah. Long has he foreseen this doom, foreseen and done nothing. I don't know, that just came to me.
Faramir? This is not the first half.
Oh, we skipped over that. Yeah.
You
You
seem
sent
full-
the ring of Mordor, the ring of the enemy into Mordor in the hands of a witless halfling.
I did what I thought was right.
What you thought was right. Anyways, good movie, good half. Hopefully, next week's part 2 will be slightly more insightful.
Sure.
Sure, he says. Maybe with 100% less sleep deprivation.
Right. Yeah.
It's a nice thought, anyways. He goes.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So, Ryan, the ultimate question. Who had the better Sad Squire song? Pippin or Podrick Payne? Oh, Curtis can't answer this question because he doesn't know who Podrick Payne is, which is a shame.
I mean,
It's a tough one.
Podrick Payne's was kind of scripted, whereas this song, according to the behind the scenes, he just kind of came up with on the fly.
Right, Billy Boyd.
Yeah.
But still.
They're both pretty good.
Right.
And we're talking about the one scene that was good in
Out
the
of
last
the
season.
entire season. Yes, the one scene that actually made you feel something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, right, these are characters that I like, and this situation is grim. And then the next episode completely ignored that, but
So
that's
I
a
don't
whole nother
know.
matter.
That's
I lead towards Podrick.
I think I need to listen to the songs again. And
Yeah, I'm a big fan
give
of
you a
Jenny
better-
of Old Stones, so
It is a good song.
it's a great song. Right, Curtis?
Sure.
Sure. Ryan, you missed our Xbox discussion.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. Oh, Curtis, that's what it reminded me what I needed to ask you. Did you come up with a pirate name?
Oh, no. I completely forgot about piratey names.
A piratey name. I, of course, am Willie Two Legs. They call me
Right.
that on account of me having 2 legs.
Yeah.
Me paps and me grandpaps each had a peg leg apiece. Me ma didn't even have legs. Thus, I be Willie Two Legs. I go into battle, and I check to make sure I got both me legs. Got both me legs. Yep, we're still good. Still Willie.
Willie.
Willie Two Legs.
Big Willie.
One day, Willie will actually live.
Yes.
Right. Sea of Thieves. Gotta get it.
You should get it, Curtis. Then we could play.
Right.
Correct?
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
All
This
right.
has been a thing. I suppose we're getting back into things. It's been a couple of weeks since we had a proper NRC.
Right?
Yeah. So I guess we'll be back next week.
Yes.
Yes. There's some shrugging. There's some questions that need answering.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully I get through the rest of the movie.
Me too.
Yeah. Alrighty.
All right.
Like and subscribe.